Hi again. So I just want to talk about why carnivore, because this is usually the second question people ask me once I tell people that I'm carnivore and I only eat meat, which usually happens at sometimes at events or when I'm just meeting up with friends, things like that. Well, I'm the type of person who likes to eat, and carnivore has two simple rules. You eat when you're hungry and you eat when you're full. I mean, till you're full. Those are the only two rules. And drink water when you're thirsty. So, I mean, there's not much else to say about that. I was like, what? And I get to have bacon? That's a no brainer. I mean, I did keto in 2017 and I found it to be beneficial. So it's the only other thing that comes close. But I do find I like not having to deal with the extra side dishes. I like being able to throw a roast in the oven and it's like low commitment. You just keep the time, check on the time, take your roast out when it's ready, and you've got food there for a good like 5, 6 days, depending on how big the roast is. I like having to go to just the butchery. I don't have to go shopping at different places, all that kind of stuff. I don't have to spend any extra money on garnish on a plate. That's time saved, energy saved. Eat till I'm satisfied. Eat whenever I want. Yeah, I like those things. I really do, especially as a busy person. You don't have time, and for me, I like making things fancy when I can. So for me, being busy, sometimes it's really about grabbing some mince, making it into a burger patty, and throwing it on a pan and calling it a day. The simplicity of having to render your oils or keep the oils that have been rendered from your roast and putting them in the fridge and basically using them as cooking oil. I don't buy cooking oil, guys. Like I don't buy cooking oil. I have jars in my fridge and Tupperware in my fridge with just fat there from animals after roasts, um, especially after pork bellies, after making chicken. There's always plenty of fat that just like falls off the pan. I store that. The only fat I actually spend money on is butter. That's it. So even financially, I have seen for me the benefits. I don't spend nearly as much money as I used to, except for when I want to get like a block of fancy cheese or I don't know, like a fancy sparkling water or something like that. That's as far as it goes. So, there's a cost benefit. Um, Meat is very nutrient dense. So, when it comes to supplementation, in the beginning, yes, I did have to. I needed some support because a lot of things will change in the beginning. So, I'll talk about like things that I went through when I first started. October 2020 was when I first started. So I've been in this a little over a year now. And I find that it's calming, it's soothing as well. I have less anxiety. Trust you me, I wouldn't be able to document this journey if I had all the anxiety that I did before. So now if I get anxious, it's basically some fat, some meat, and I call it a day and move on. And in about an hour, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, and I'm able to take deep breaths. So that's also been another great benefit. But I will do a video on like all the things that have changed health wise for me and are continuing to do so. Have I been perfect? No. Like I can do 1, 2, sometimes 3 months of perfection, and I'll have one or two things here and there. But if I do not check myself, I will roll right out of control. And I saw that in December and in January. And February, I started getting back into it, just not as strict. And then come March, now I'm definitely more strict at it. Like, because I was like, no, I want all those benefits that I had before, because some of my health issues were starting to come back, and I put my foot down from there. So, yeah, so at the moment, I've been a full month in of stricter carnivore. What that means is basically sticking to the meat, fat, water. And I'm talking about beef, pork, lamb, goat, uh, wild meats, eland, gemsbok, kudu. No, not kudu, springbok. So that's pretty much what I've been eating. And I eat plenty of the fat and butter. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's for me. That's what strict carnivore is. Oh, and the occasional egg. That's the thing. So sometimes I'll have 2, 3 eggs, actually with meals, but not always. So I like to stick to mostly the meat, and I really like egg yolks a lot. So I'll stick to it the foods that are palatable for me, and that I enjoy. And so I also do organ meats. So your liver, kidneys, things like that. Sorobe, which is basically tripe. Um, yeah, I'm eager to try brain. So that's something that I'm definitely going to try. Um, so that's pretty much it. So you know, I did gain some weight back in December, January, Feb, when I wasn't being too great, especially December, Jan. Then I halted it in Feb, like I said. So I decided I want to show people how this works, what I eat, talk about some of the scientific literature too, and books that have been written on it, and include some of the articles in my posts. But I will do that later when it comes to things like being very specific on a video. So yeah, so that's why I carnivore. Takes up less time of my time preparing food, costs less. It's helping me heal when it comes to some of my ailments, especially irritable bowel syndrome. That's been one of my biggest issues, and other things. And not to mention the fact that when I have a high fat day, I sleep really well. Really, really well. But it took me a year and some to figure that out. Because when I first started, I was high protein because it's all I wanted. Now it's very intuitive eating. If I crave butter or something fatty, I'll go for it. And I now crave more fat than I do protein. So I stick to that. And when my body is like, I want protein today, all I can think of is a steak. Like, I'll literally go through my day like, oh, I can't wait to get home and fry up a steak. And not being hungry all day is also such a huge benefit, because then I can do so much in my day. Not always stopping every few hours for food. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my carnivore. Those are some of my carnivore whys. And yeah, I'm happy to expand more on this way of eating. So I'll see you again soon.